We're going to show you a quick video on how to take those foggy windows that are in your motorhome. We're going to take those out and we're going to clean them and put them back together to where they will not do that anymore. They'll be crystal clear when we get done. We'll show you before and after shots at the end of the video. If you'll notice, all RV windows come out the same way. You're going to have screws around the inside of the frame that we'll take out. When you do that, you'll need somebody on a ladder on the outside of the frame, and you'll just push the window straight out. You see how bad the window's fogged up? It's almost always the stationary window and not the pane that slides back and forth. From the outside, you're going to see a bead of silicone around the window. And these plastic blades will take out the silicone nice and easy, and it will not scratch your motor home. One problem you'll run into is these screws that are so tight to the dash. If you use a socket wrench with a 1/4 inch socket and your bit, you can get in here and get those, and the ones behind the balance where your power driver won't get. To get the glass out, we're going to split the frame, and you split the frame right here. You see the seam right there. So we're going to split the frame, and then we're going to pull it apart. When we pull it apart, that'll release the panes of windows from here to here. Okay, got all the screws out. Now we're going to split this frame, or see how easy it splits. Okay, one thing we didn't point out in the video, which I should have. When you get ready to separate this glass, this center piece has to be taken loose. It's either going to have a couple of rivets on the outside or a screw straight up the bottom. This one had a screw straight up the bottom. Take that screw out, this will move over, and that separates the frame to the point you can take the glass out. We've got it loose. You can see the rubber seal I was talking about right here. This one, it's half coming out with the glass in hand. Okay, now we've got that loose, we can slide out the double pane glass. Looking at your double pane glass from the edge, here's what you see. Whatever they used to seal this with may be silicone. Hopefully it was. 100% silicone is the thing to go back with, because 100% silicone is a man-made item, and it's a lot of people think you need to use windshield sealant like you use on a car to hold the windshield in, and that's the wrong thing to use. The reason is it is an organic material, and it will decompose with UV light. A lot of times that's what happens with these. They've used something other than silicone to save money, and it decomposes because of the UV light. On a windshield, if you'll notice around the edge of a windshield, it's black, and that's what keeps the UV light from getting to the compound that they use for the windshield sealant. And this is not, so UV light can get through here. Even though it's got the rubber seal around it and everything, it can still get through there and can decompose the organic material. To separate the glass, we're going to take the razor knife and we're going to put it in. What we're going to do is take that razor knife and stab it in so you can see it on the inside and just give it a pull. What we're doing is separating the two panes of window glass. Now, while I'm doing this, there's a lot of people have misconceptions about insulated glass. But it's the same for your RV as it is for a house, for a patio door, for your insulated windows in your house or whatever. A lot of people think, and I did for a long time, that there is a gas in between them, and when the gas escapes, that's when they fog over. Well, that's not exactly true. The air is a gas. So if there's a gas between them, it's nothing but air. You will find some insulated glass windows. 98% of them in the country have nothing but air in between them. That other 2% has argon gas in them. That argon gas will provide a little bit more of an insulating factor. It's not enough to mount anything, so they don't put it in a lot of them. Costs money, takes different equipment. So you don't have to worry that you're not going to be able to put the gas back in this glass. It was never under a vacuum. It was never under a pressure. Vacuum would be the wrong thing, because then if you had the least little bit of a leak, it would be that much easier to suck moisture in. What's happened is somewhere this seal is broke. And if you look here, this particular seal is not one piece. In the corner, here, here, or over here. The only place they've done is around that round edge. They've left it one piece there. We're going to put ours back together with one joint. And one joint's better, obviously, less chance to leak. Till you're sure you're loose. See it coming apart? That's what we're after right there. Okay. Just like that. Then we'll down to that one corner. And there are two panes of glass are separated. We're going to clean this off, and we're going to use a razor scraper. You see it's starting to peel it off. Just nice and easy, just one little piece at a time. See it's starting to peel loose? That's what we're after. Okay, I'm down to the aluminum foil right now. Now, you notice that this is nothing but a rubber and aluminum foil. The one you're getting from me, I have manufactured differently. The sides are coated with a special adhesive that will adhere to the glass and will fuse to the glass. That will keep air coming from coming past it. On the inside of it is a dissectant powder. This dissectant powder will take any moisture that you have in this thing when you put it back together and keep it from doing this. See this? This is just moisture residue. You see that? Now, if that was etched real bad and it gotten in such bad shape we couldn't clean it, then you put the outer glass back on and take the inner glass and cut a piece of plexiglass to fit it and put it back together the same way we're going to put this back together. Plexiglass or Lexan, either one will work, but getting a piece of glass cut to the right shape and then having it annealed into safety glass is extremely expensive and difficult to find anybody to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish scraping this off, and then we'll go inside to do the rest. Okay, once you get the grass scraped down, you're going to see a little bit of residue here, like you see right here. What I'm going to use is just plain acetone. Take that acetone, get it on a rag, and just kind of come straight down there, and that's going to go away. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is bring these things in the house or in an air-conditioned environment. This is the inside of the glass right here, the sides I'm putting together. I'm not worried about cleaning the other side. The other side, we're going to be handling it over and over again, so we'll clean it after we get the two of these pushed together. But you clean the windows however you want them cleaned. But I can tell you that you want them as clean as you can possibly get them. And this is your one shot at doing that. So I'll get back to you when we got these windows clean. Okay, so if you run into a problem cleaning your glass, and part of the haze between the windows panes will not come off, then that means that calcium, lime, rust, the hardness of the water coming in, has etched itself to the glass. So get some of the glass top cooktop cleaner. But get some of that, use a little sponge, smear it around with a little bit of water, clean it up real good, see how it does, and that should remove quite a bit of it for you. Alternately, you can take a razor knife once this stuff is on there and scrape, and it looks like it's taking everything off and cleaning right back down to the glass. And feels real good. So you would clean your glass just like you would clean a glass cooktop on a glass range in your home. Now we're going to put the foam seal on, the spacer seal. This stuff is amazing. You don't want to open it until you're ready to use it because it's in a vacuum sealed package, and obviously you don't want it to get damp or humid. This stuff is a foam, and it's got Dissectant embedded into the foam. This is special made for what we're doing. So you'll see the foil on the back side runs up 2 edges and then foam on the inside. The foam goes on the inside of the glass like this, and what you have to do is reach around and peel it to get it started, and that's where the adhesive is. Okay, so you get it peeled and get it started. Start in a square corner. Don't start in a round corner, start in a square corner. What you want to do is leave it about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, 1/8 to 3/16. Don't go any deeper than that. So we're going to start on the corner, and we're going to leave enough room for the next one to come down and butt into it. So that's why I'm staying so far away from the edge here. Our glass is good and clean, and we're just going to go here and then just press it down to get it started. Peel some of this out, pull it in a nice straight line, and then just go through here and press it down. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't want, you've got to have that 1/8 inch or so right here, 1/8 to 3/16, and you don't want it over, on the edge of the glass. That's going to give you room for your secondary seal, which is going to be our tube of silicone that was included in your kit. Get to the corner, just round it out and go. Keep in mind, if this doesn't look perfect, it's okay, because this never shows. You're seeing it for the last time when you're putting this stuff together. And it's going to just, we've got that rubber that goes around it. So try not to touch your glass any more than you have to. All I'm doing is just using my thumb to help space it a little bit with as I go right around it. Touch it every 6 or 8 inches just to get it on there, and then go back and rub it down. Kind of like that. They got that put in place. Get to your radius corners if you've got them. If they're square, keep going just like we did. If they're a radius corner, just work it right around that corner so that you're maintaining that 1/8 of an inch or so. Okay, just like that. Keep this in one piece all the way around if you can. If you can't, it's not the end of the world. If you have to cut it someplace and put it back together, that's fine. Just butt it up against each other. That's what we're going to do when we get to the corner anyhow. And because this is called your primary seal. Your secondary seal is going to be the caulking that you got with it to go around the edge. See, I got a little close to my edge, so I'm just going to scoot it back over a little bit. And there we go. Keep coming all the way around. And see, when we get to the end where we're at, we just butt it up to each other. Then you can take your razor knife, your scissors, whatever you got, it doesn't matter. Just cut it off nice and neat like that. And what you got left, you can use for your next window or your next kit or your next job. Like I said, if you wanted to splice this stuff together, butt it together somewhere, just butt it up against each other, give it a little push, stick it down, and keep going. Your secondary seal, which is your caulking, is going to come right around and take care of that. Okay, make sure it's pressed down real good all the way around, especially in the corners. Then come back, peel your protective paper off the sticky on the inside, just like this. Go all the way around, just like that. So now you're ready to put the 2 pieces of glass together. If you'll hold that one right there. Set it up on the edge with the Sticky side facing. Bring your next piece over. This holds our bottom edges together, level. Then slide it left or right to make sure you've got it. And then bring the top in, let it touch. And as soon as it touches, you've got it. It's just that simple. Like I said, don't worry about the dirty glass that you see here because I only clean the inside. I'll clean the outside after we get done with it because I'm going to be touching the outside of this stuff all over the place, and I don't want to clean it twice. Go around the edges, give it a little bit of squeeze. Do not squeeze it in the middle, you'll break your glass. So we've got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. You see how you see the silver foil. Our dissectant's in the center. Any humidity in the air that we just trapped inside is going to be soaked up by the dissectant material that's in here. Now we're going to seal all the way around this, but we're going to take it outside to do it. Do not use the silicone caulking in your house. As soon as you do, you're going to stick it on something, you're going to make a mess. You're not going to be happy. And silicone caulking cures by the humidity in the air. It uses the humidity in the outside air. So if you're in an air-conditioned space where you've brought this in to clean it, which is the right thing to do because that way you have less humidity between your glass, now you need to get into a little bit more of a humid space and put your silicone caulking on because it takes that humidity out of the air to skim over and cure the silicone. That's how silicone caulking works. We're going to use 100% silicone. It's black, it's RTV, and it's going to work out really good for you. You've got a tube of it in your kit. Okay, to apply the caulking, you know, you've got a roll of tape in with your kit. There's a very good reason for this. This makes this so much easier. If you don't use this roll of tape and do what I'm doing here, it's going to make your life a lot more miserable. So just start it on a corner like this to kind of hold it, come right on down, and just put it on the outside edge of the glass. And just work with one side at a time like this. So we're going to go around the corners. Then take your razor knife and just barely cut through the tape, just like that. And make sure you don't go deep and cut your seal. And just run it right down the edge, just like this. And all we're doing is just cutting the tape and leaving it on the glass, okay? And basically we're masking this thing off so that when we caulk, we don't have caulking all over the outside edge of the glass because somebody's got to clean that off. And I don't want to be the one. Cleaning caulking is always a mess. So, there we go. So get it started. It's okay to have a little mess, but boy, I'll tell you what, I can do this so much quicker than I can. See that nice little neat groove? Isn't that slick? So that's all I want to do. I just want to caulk on there. So I'm going to use a caulking gun. You've got a caulking too, but we've got the same kind of caulking, and we're going to go through here. And like I said, just kind of work one side at a time. You can come around the corner and just fill your little gap up. That's all you're worried about doing is just filling this gap. Okay? And what I do is I squeeze the gun and I let the caulking push a bead of caulking in front of me. That way, I got the whole thing covered. My finger and give it a little shove like that, and I'm in there. Then grab your tape that we just put on, and I just cleaned all that off. See how easy that was? Right in the trash can. This is going to need to set about 20 minutes after we get done caulking all the way around, and that will give the caulking time to skim over and start to cure. Caulking, silicone, takes about 24 hours to completely cure, but that's okay. All it's got to do is skim and start to cure before you start putting your window back together. Also, remember the rubber seals we took out. The rubber seal that goes around the window, between the frame of glass, everything like that needs to be cleaned. Also, inside your frame of glass, you need to wipe all it out real good so that everything goes together clean. Clean is your buddy on this. You've got a seal all the way around this, going to be fine. The part where we cut the seal, right down here to put it together, it's not going to be that big of an issue. It's taken, once everything's all screwed together and everything, we're going to put a little bit of silicone in that and smooth it down. Okay, we got the frame back up on the table. While he's cleaning the frame, remember these little parts we took out of these 8 holes? I'm going to go ahead and put one side in first. This goes on the inside, but it'll go one here and one here. I'm only going to use on these 4 screws and put it in, because once we get this thing together with the window in it, we will not be able to get back inside of here on the bottom rung. And it's very difficult to get it to hold still to put those in. Be sure to clean inside your frame, right in here, real good where that rubber seal goes. We've done clean the rubber seal. Let's get everything cleaned up real good. Okay, we're going to put the rubber seal back around the glass, just the way it came off. It's easy to tell, mainly because of the radius part in the corners. And we're going to see, then we'll put it up there and we'll put the whole thing inside the frame. We've got the frame cleaned out and ready to go. Okay, we've got the rubber seal on the window. And this is just a little bit of a soapy water solution. I just lightly spray it into the cracks. And this is going to help that thing slide in place when we get it up there. So, let's see if we can do this while he films. Doesn't matter which part gets started first as long as it goes in. Okay, this is going to take 2 of us, so we're going to set the camera down. Okay, we got the glass back in. It's installed on the motorhome, and as you can see, everything is nice and clear. We have windows, once again, that look just like new. Once you get the window back in, we have driver and passenger side done on this coach both. Caulk across the top, down the front, just at least a little bit around the back side, just like what was there to begin with. Be careful, don't make a mess, make it look real nice. Here's another coach we did. Windows crystal clear. It's got the curtains pulled. It's a shame you can't see that, but the window's crystal clear. Windows in this coach were hazed over to where you could barely see out. Look at them now. Crystal clear, nice and neat. Everything looks real good. What a beautiful difference this made in this coach. Now the driver can sit here. He can see out while he's driving down the road. Everything looks really, really good. This turned out to be awesome. Yeah. If you have any questions about anything that you needed clarification on in the video, just shoot us an email. Our email address is sales@diyrvsolution.com. The next 4 photos you're going to see flash across the screen are the before and afters of the window we just finished. Actually 2 windows on the same coach. Putting the window in, I didn't film putting the window back in. We put it in the same way we take it out, only we go backwards. So it's not that big a deal. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Take care.